Making headlines. Parliament Speaker affirms his commitment to upholding the responsibilities assigned to him by the Constitution. The city's minister emphasizes that the goal is to provide financial empowerment to councils through public participation. And Maldives and Turkey engages in discussions aiming to create more scholarship opportunities for Maldivians.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to PSMNEWS in English with me, Mariam Shawshat. Speaker of Parliament Abdurrahim Abdullah affirms his commitment to upholding the responsibilities assigned to him by the Constitution of the Maldives. He made the statement during the 16th anniversary of the adoption of the Constitution. Speaking to the Parliament, Speaker Abdurrahim expressed gratitude to the parliamentarians for their contributions to drafting the Constitution. He also extended appreciation to Parliamentarian Qasim Ibrahim for his role in presiding over the parliamentary session during the drafting process. Additionally, Speaker assured that the Parliament will diligently perform its duties in safeguarding the rights enshrined in the Constitution, fulfilling the responsibilities entrusted to it, and holding institutions accountable. The current Constitution, which was ratified on August 7, 2008 by former President Maumoon Abdul Qayyum, was drafted in 2004. It has been in effect for 16 years and empowers the Parliament with significant authority. Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works, Adam Sharif Umar emphasizes that the goal is to provide financial empowerment to councils through public participation. He made the statement during the oath-taking ceremony of 3 newly elected councillors to the Male City Council.
Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Adam Sharif highlighted the need for significant changes to the decentralization system to enhance financial empowerment for councils. He said that these changes would be implemented after consulting with the public. He said that the objective of the government is to strengthen the decentralization system and improve service quality through new ideas and innovations. He also said that the aim is to develop a decentralization system that is sustainable, responsible and participatory. Additionally, Minister Adam Sharif highlighted the ongoing study by the Maldives National University MNU to identify issues within the decentralization system. He also noted that the study is nearing completion, with the preliminary report expected next week and open for public feedback. Furthermore, Minister Adam Sharif encouraged all stakeholders to submit their views on the decentralization study responsibly. He stressed that it is an excellent opportunity for the public to contribute to system improvements. President Dr. Muhammad Muiz prioritizes strengthening the decentralization system and empowering councils financially. In line with this, the government plans to allocate uninhabited islands which are not under council jurisdiction for income generation over a specified period.
Maldives and Turkey hold discussions aiming to create more scholarship opportunities for Maldivian students and strengthening the educational bond between the two nations. The discussions were held between Minister of Higher Education, Labour and Skills Development, Dr. Mariam Maria, and senior officials from famous Turkish universities, including the Ostim Technical University and Ankara University. During her official visit to Turkey, Minister Dr. Maria will also meet with the COSGAB under Turkey's Ministry of Industry and Technology. She will also hold discussions with Turkey's Ministry of Culture and Tourism and the Council of Higher Education as well. The Higher Education Ministry is exerting maximum efforts to enhance the higher education sector and build a skilled and educated society. Under these efforts, the Minister is holding talks with several foreign ministries aiming to enhance the opportunities for local students to study abroad. Minister Dr. Maria is undertaking the trip at the invitation of Turkey. She is accompanied by Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Labour and Skills Development, Aminat Shashi, and Permanent Secretary Aminat Hikma. The Parliament approves the amendment proposed to hold by-elections to elect members for vacant seats biannually. The bill proposed to bring amendments to the Decentralisation Act and the Local Council Election Act was given the approval after a parliamentary debate and an analysis done by the Committee on Decentralisation.
Under the current Decentralisation Act, by-elections must be conducted within 60 days following the vacancy of a local council seat. The proposed amendment seeks to extend this period to 183 days. The reason behind the proposal was because frequent vacancies have led to numerous by-elections within short intervals, thereby increasing state expenditure. The changes stipulate that the local government authority, LGA, must inform the Elections Commission of Maldives, ECM, within 14 days of a seat becoming vacant, with the by-elections to be held within 183 days. If a vacancy results in a council lacking the necessary quorum for meetings, a new member must be elected within 60 days. However, if the vacancy pertains to a vice president or deputy mayor, the by-election must occur within 30 days of the LGA's notification to the ECM. Meanwhile, the amendment to the Local Council Elections Act indicates that the by-elections must be held twice a year. It specifies that the interval between these two annual by-elections should be no less than 120 days and no more than 183 days. The rule does not apply to vacancies of vice presidents and deputy mayors. While these proposed amendments have been approved, by-elections cannot be held within 365 days before the council's tenure is complete. Additionally, the members elected through by-elections will also serve until the tenure of the respective council is complete.
3 candidates who were elected from the by-election as councillors for the Malé City Council take their oaths. The oath-taking ceremony was held at a special ceremony held at Miruma Hall.
Judge of the Drug Court Ahmad Samir administered the oath-taking ceremony. The 3 council seats became vacant when the members of the respective seats were elected as parliamentarians. The 3 candidates who secured the seats are Fatimat Shaufa Salim, Fatmat Ishan Ali, and Ali Ayman. The 3 elected councillors are members of the ruling party People's National Congress (PNC). With these 3 councillors, the total number of PNC members in the Malé City Council is 14. The remaining 5 members of the 19-member council includes 3 individuals who are not members of any party and 2 members from the opposition party. The oath-taking ceremony was attended by Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works, Adam Sharif Umar, Mayor of the Malé City Council, Adam Azim, Ministry officials and parliamentarians.
Mayor of Malé City, Adam Azim, announces that a research study will be completed this week to determine the maximum number of vehicles that can be registered in the city. Malé City Council previously announced that it was seeking an organization to conduct an assessment which includes a study and a survey. Applications were open to all local companies, partnerships and private firms not suspended due to government procurement issues, with a submission deadline of July 18th. Speaking to PSMNEWS, Mayor Azim revealed that only 1 application was received. As such, he said that the council decided to consult with the applicant and award them the study. He also said that the agreement will be signed by the end of this week and the duration of the assessment will be determined once the work begins. The assessment aims to identify available vehicle parking spaces on the city's streets and will determine the number of vehicles owned and driven based on these findings. The Road Traffic Act says that the respective council must determine the number of road vehicles that can be registered and the period for which they can be used in a particular island, city or area. The amendments to the regulations made in March require that this number be determined following an assessment conducted by the council. The Act categorizes vehicle capacity into 4 groups, which include public transport, private vehicles, transportation facilities for commercial purposes, and those used for industrial purposes. Councils are permitted to create subcategories within these groups. The amendments also stipulate that the maximum vehicle capacity for private vehicles must not exceed 80% of the total vehicle capacity. The Greater Malé region is the most congested area in the Maldives, with over 100,000 registered vehicles. The congestion issue has worsened due to an increase in the number of registered vehicles left unused on the roads. Therefore, the government has prioritized addressing vehicle congestion in the country. Ministry of Fisheries and Ocean Resources reveals that 200 fishing vessels were registered in the National Registry of Fishermen so far.
The National Registry of Fishermen was established under the recommendation of President Dr. PSMNEWS on February 16th. The primary reasons for establishing the registry is to ensure that fishermen and those engaged in the fishery sector receive governmental recognition commensurate with other professions. Speaking to PSMNEWS, Director General of the Fisheries Ministry, Dr. Hussain Sinan, highlighted the goal of the ministry to register all fishing vessels being utilized. Currently, efforts are underway to make arrangements to facilitate the fisheries community's access to the banking sector, enabling them to avail of its benefits, secure loans for diverse purposes, and access other government services. The Director General stated that the individuals who are registered in the registry have the ability to apply for the loans provided by the government as well. The ministry expresses confidence that the registry will play a pivotal role in minimizing the number of foreign workers in the fisheries industry, thereby reducing the outflow of local currency. The ministry also stated that in addition to the establishment of the National Registry of Fishermen, according to the administration's pledge, several records of activities such as reef fishing, recreational fishing, and sports fishing will be organized.
Ministry of Fisheries and Ocean Resources announces plans to construct a packing facility in Hulumale to support small and medium enterprises (SMEs) in exporting fish.
Speaking to PSMNEWS, Director General of the Fisheries Ministry, Dr. Hussain Sinan, revealed that the Islamic Development Bank has provided funding for this project. He also highlighted ongoing discussions with the Maldives Industrial Fisheries Company Limited (MIFCO) regarding the operations of the facility. Additionally, Dr. Sinan emphasized that SMEs are among the few fish exporters in the Maldives, often relying on private fish exporting companies. He said that the new facility aims to assist these enterprises by developing the MIFCO facility in Hulumale and transferring its operations to a shareholder or union of rare fish exporters. Efforts are underway with MIFCO to establish the packing facility and address challenges in the fisheries sector. Meanwhile, Minister of State for the Fisheries Ministry, Muhammad Muttalib, highlighted the limited opportunities for SMEs to export fish from the Maldives. He also said that the facility's purpose is to create more export opportunities and benefit a broader range of individuals within the fisheries sector. The government is developing fish processing factories in 3 regions to enhance the fisheries sector. These include Fiori in Gafdal Atoll, Nilandu in Faf Atoll, and the Felivaru Fisheries Complex. The initiative is a collaboration with China's Dongfang Electric Company, aiming to fully automate the facilities.
Maldives Ports Limited (MPL) announces that parking spaces for heavy vehicles are available for rent in the Mother Industrial Village. MPL, responsible for developing the industrial village, has established a dedicated parking area for heavy vehicles due to the growing number of such vehicles in the capital, Malé City. This service is essential for both heavy vehicle companies and private owners. MPL decided that it will offer parking slots to rent in the industrial village starting from August 15th. The available slots and their prices are: MPL said that the slots will be allocated on a first-come, first-served basis. Interested parties are required to submit their applications, written document to MPL, including vehicle registration and insurance. For fuel or gas tankers, and additional documentation from the Ministry of Defence or the Maldives National Defence Force (MNDF), an ID card of the owner or operator, and a copy of the company registration are required. MPL also plans to establish a fenced parking zone with 24-hour security within the industrial village. The company said that work on this project is expected to begin soon. Maldives Inland Revenue Authority (MIRA) reveals that the state has not received $650 million in both tax and non-tax revenue so far.
The latest quarterly report from MIRA shows that as of June, $360 million of the $650 million is tax revenue owed by state-owned enterprises, SOEs, and private companies. There is also $300 million in outstanding non-tax revenue. The report shows that the outstanding revenue includes $56 million from income tax, $84 million from TGST, $156 million from GGST, and $60 million from other taxes. The non-tax revenue owed includes $300 million from resort rents and $12 million from other non-tax sources. The report also shows that SOEs have not yet received $104 million in both tax and non-tax revenue. It includes $104 million in outstanding taxes and $1.4 million in non-tax income. MIRA has also granted waivers for penalties in 1,029 tax cases during the second quarter, totaling approximately $4.1 million. The government has faced significant delays in receiving tax and penalty payments. The information about tax evaders have been made public and some cases have been taken to the court. MIRA collected $41 million from these legal cases during the first quarter.
Researchers in Scotland hope to lead the way in tackling cybercrime with the development of a national quantum network that could revolutionize data security and establish the UK as a global leader in quantum innovative.
The team at Heriot-Watt University in Edinburgh will lead the Integrated Quantum Networks IQN Hub, part of a €160 million government investment to create a quantum network core. The aim is to boost cybersecurity by enhancing defenses to hacking and connecting future quantum computers. Professor Charlotte Dean, Executive Chair of the UK's Engineering and Physical Sciences Research Council, said that it's a very different way of thinking about the way the world works.
It's a very different way of thinking about the way the world works. So programming on a quantum computer, for example, is totally different from programming on a classical computer. But it is not a form of magic. It is literally, there is a property that we can use that allows us to program things in a different way, which means we can do things faster or we can solve different types of problems.
According to Authentic ID's State of Identity Fraud Report 2024, cybercrimes, including identity fraud, are projected to cost the world about $9.5 trillion annually by the end of 2024. In the UK alone, it is already estimated to be costing UK businesses €27 billion a year. A crucial aspect of this project is the establishment of a quantum internet, which utilizes principles of quantum mechanics and artificial intelligence (AI) to create unbreakable encryption keys, providing an impregnable defense against hackers. Cybersecurity expert Andrew Patel cautioned that no system will ever be impervious to maintain weak link in the chain, people.
A quantum internet, which obviously I've described mainly in terms of security, can also connect securely quantum computers to give, incredibly powerful computing ability. And here, of course, AI can play a role and it can be used for AI. In other quantum technologies such as sensing and imaging, AI is already being used to take the data and make it process it faster and get more believable results. So AI is already here with quantum technology. It remains to be seen just how big a part it will play in the quantum internet of the future.
These new quantum hubs represent a significant milestone for the UK and form a critical piece of the national quantum strategy. As the UK aims to become a quantum-enabled economy by 2035, these hubs are expected to drive entrepreneurship, workforce development and regulatory input into the rapidly emerging UK quantum industry, potentially sparking significant economic growth and job creation in the coming years.
British police braces for further anti-Muslim riots as far-right groups pledge to target asylum centres and immigration law firms across the country, prompting anti-fascist protesters to plan counter-demonstrations.
Britain has been gripped by an escalating wave of violence that erupted early last week when 3 young girls were killed in a knife attack in northwest Britain, triggering a wave of false messaging online that wrongly identified the suspected killer as an Islamist migrant. Prime Minister Keir Starmer, a former chief prosecutor who is facing his first crisis since winning the July 4th election, has warned rioters they will face lengthy jail terms as he sought to stamp out the worst outbreak of violence in Britain in 13 years. He told broadcasters that the first duty is to ensure the communities are safe. In towns and cities, groups of 100 rioters have clashed with police and smashed windows of hotels housing asylum seekers from Africa and the Middle East. They have also pelted mosques with rocks, terrifying local communities, including ethnic minorities who have felt targeted by the violence. The government has put together a so-called standing army of 6,000 specialist police officers to respond to any outbreaks of violence and say they will have a big enough presence to deal with any unrest. Deputy Assistant Commissioner Andy Valentine, who is in charge of the policing operation in London, said that the country is faced with one of the worst spates of violent disorder in the last decade. Starmer has vowed a reckoning for those caught raiding, looting shops and burning cars. He said more than 400 people had been arrested, 100 had been charged, and he was expecting sentencing to start soon.
Quantum computing promises society-changing breakthroughs in drug development and tackling climate change. And on an unassuming English high street, the race to unleash the latest tech revolution is gathering pace.
The founder of Cambridge-based Riverland, Steve Braley, predicts that the technology will have its Sputnik breakthrough within years. His company produces the world's first dedicated quantum decoder chip, which detects and corrects the errors currently holding the technology back. John Martinez, former quantum computing leading at Google Quantum AI, said that building devices that live up to the technology's incredible promise requires a massive step change in scale and reliability, and that requires reliable error correction schemes. In a sign of confidence in Riverland's work and the sector in general, the company announced on Tuesday that it had raised $75 million in Series C funding, typically the last round of venture capital financing prior to an initial public offering. This could open the door to revolutionary medicines and also promises huge efficiency improvements in how fertilizers are made, transforming an industry that today produces around 2% of global carbon dioxide emissions. It also paves the way for much more efficient batteries, another crucial weapon in the fighting against climate change. The amount of information that quantum computers can harness increases exponentially when the machine is scaled up compared with conventional computers. In traditional computers, data is stored in bits and each bit can take a value of 0 or 1, much like a light switch can be on or off. One bit can therefore represent two states, such as black or white. Quantum bits or qubits are more like dimmer switches, and one of them can store all values between 0 and 1, meaning all colors of the spectrum can be represented on one qubit. The strangeness of quantum behavior means that the values have to be read many times and processed by complex algorithms requiring exquisite control of the qubits. Tech giants such as Google, IBM, Microsoft and Amazon are all investing huge sums in generating qubits and in trying to reduce errors, either through shielding the hardware or by combining qubits and then using algorithms to detect and correct mistakes.
Well, that's all we have for you right now. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more news updates. Have a good day. Goodbye.